Well, let's take a quick look over here. See how this front cover just pulls out. There's a little flange here that fits up underneath this, and then the bottom has Velcro on it. And see, the bottom comes all the way down here to the Velcro strips that get pushed on there. And I'm gonna have to get a light to kind of look down in where that drain connection is, down in there. And I was thinking about I thought maybe I could take a 2x4 out. See this 2x4 here? That's just going up there, but that's kind of supporting a little thin piece of plywood here that goes across there. That could be kind of spongy if I take this little piece out, or maybe I can cut it and then reinstall it later. But I don't think that's going to give me very much room, you know, even to fish anything down there. I don't want to take this out. That's why I thought, you know, probably, and then even if I could even if this was open a little bit more, it's way down in there. And so I think I'm going to have, my best bet is going to be from working down below where the sheetrock ceiling is in the bathroom, unfortunately. But hey, I'll take that exhaust fan out, poke my head up there, and I think I'll be able to see a little bit more what's going on. And I think, like I say, it's dripping and it's running back. In fact, it could be dripping anywhere along this pipe before it comes down into the drain down below. But I've got to get some more light in there. And see, this cover comes off because this is a jacuzzi tub. You press it here to turn it on. And if you have a jacuzzi tub and if it's inside, if you don't have an inspection panel, this is your inspection panel. See, you take that out and then see there's an electrical outlet right there. It's supposed to be on a GFI, and yes, in fact it is. And the motor is down in there. If that ever went out, I'd hate to be the one to have to figure out how to get that out, you know. But I guess, oh, see, there's fittings here. See that fitting? This fitting right here has a nut there. You can take that off, and then this other one down in here has another union nut there. So you would take that off and kind of slide this stuff out of the way. It would still be tricky to get the motor because the motor's way back down in there. And I don't think it's dripping anywhere else other than the drain. I mean, worst case scenario, we'd have to turn this on, fill it back up with water, run the jacuzzi on there, shine the flashlight here and underneath, and then if we did run the drain and found out it was dripping, drip, okay, shut it off. We could turn this and leave the water in here, and then I could bail this out with a 5-gallon bucket, pour it down the drain in the toilet, in the shower, a siphon, garden tube, anything like that, or leave the water in there until it got fixed. So several things you can look at before you panic and start cutting the sheetrock ceiling out, you know, in the kitchen or over there by the staircase. All right, don't do that until you find out if there's another alternative. Now you might have said, hey, you just bought this condo. Didn't the homeowner's inspection guy who did the inspection, why didn't he catch this? Well, because first off, when you turn this on and drain it, like I say, it wasn't dripping the first 4 or 5 nights that we had a tub, that we went in there and soaked in the tub and had the jacuzzis on. It took like 5 nights of draining before it started dripping. So even that inspector, he would have missed it too. All right, okay. I took the guts out. So you can take that fan housing out of there like that. You can even replace these too, by the way. Did you know that? Sometimes you can take the housing out and you can undo this, and then you can get a new motor or whatever and pop it back in there. Well, usually, lots of times you can see screws in here that are screwed up against the 2x4 where they frame this out. Well, I can't find any screws, and it's got to be mounted a different way. There must be a top flange that gets screwed down to a 2x4 or something like that. I even started trying to take this off thinking there was a screw up underneath here, but nothing doing. There's nothing up there. And I was gonna think that maybe I could take this out, you know, spread this out, spread it out over here, take this piece, push it over, because I just need to fish up there. But you know what? You know what? Are you thinking what I'm thinking now? Okay, you remember the tub is on above the 9-foot ceiling, and then the drain is down between that and this ceiling, which is this is probably a foot tall. Okay, with TGI floor joists going across here and all that kind of stuff. This is the bathroom that's right next door to it, and the tub location is right there. That's about where the drain is. Boom. And remember, I was talking about just using that for an inspection hole and looking up there. But now, and then I was thinking, okay, if I have to do something, chances are I'm going to have to cut a hole in the ceiling here and patch the ceiling. But you know what? You know what? Look at this. The garage is right up against the back side of this wall. Okay? Here's the garage. And my thinking is maybe I can cut a hole up here, up high on the wall, not the ceiling, the wall. And there might be enough room that I can crawl through there and crawl above this ceiling on over to the tub, shine the flashlight, do all that kind of stuff. It's going to be tight. And I don't know if I can do it or not. I just don't know if I can. But I'm thinking maybe I should make the attempt, and then at least I can look over there before making the final determination that I've got to chop this ceiling out. Because if I can shimmy up there and everything from here, I could get all the way over there and see what's going on and all that kind of stuff. Now this garage has spray texture on it. Look at this. Does have spray texture on it, but I haven't painted this garage yet, and I'm going to end up painting it. And there's probably 5/8 sheetrock on the wall for a 1 hour separation between the garage and the condo. This is a fire rated, 20-minute rated fire door and fire door jamb. You can see it right on here. See, it says 20-minute. And up here on the door jamb, you see there, 20-minute rated, listed fire door frame. And you know, once I take that out, I can patch and do whatever I want out here in the garage, right? And the patch doesn't have to be perfect when I get all done. What do you think about that? Now see, if I make this patch, I'm going to have to think about this a little bit. If I make that cut, I might still have to cut a hole in this ceiling. So now I've got 2 patches to do, don't I? I've got that one to do and this one. But maybe I can get by with just doing this one and not having to do this one at all. And even if I do have to decide to patch in here, I could do this pretty easy when I'm doing the other patch, can't I? And I can cut in between the joists, in between the 2x4s and all that kind of stuff, and maybe I can get through a 16-inch wide 2x4 and get up there on my belly and all that kind of good stuff, and or at least I can shine the treble light all the way through and see what's going on. Possibly, you know, lots of things that I could do if I just do a patch in the garage. So I'm thinking about doing that. I'm going to look at this a little bit more, because if I can get this out, I used to be able to get these out. And that's because lots of times when you install something like this, you put it up there and then you put surface mounted screws, you know, on the inside of there and just screw it in. And then you could unscrew it later and finagle it. And granted, there's the vent pipe is on there. Usually it's on a flexible line so you can kind of get it out of there. And then there's the electrical wires are up in there too. Make sure those are off. You can turn your light switch off for your switch off to your fan. Make sure the power is off if I was gonna try to finagle that out of there. But I'm gonna look at that a little bit more closely, because if I can do something there without doing any patches, at least I can look up there and make a determination that yes, in fact, that is the tub that's leaking. Wouldn't that be something that if it was something else, that if for some reason the leak was coming from somewhere else? But I don't think it is, because we've had the sinks on, we've had the toilet on, we have not turned the shower on yet because we've been taking bathtub, we've been taking tub, what do you want to call it? We're just taking baths instead of running the shower. And so I know it's not the shower. Look, it's not dripping now. And so I know it's not a line that is a broken, you know, water line without turning a valve on or something like that. If you turn a valve on, you know, it's not something that's causing a leak all the way over to there. That's why I kept thinking it's the drain from the tub. Well, I don't know that 100%. Maybe it's a you know, when we turn on the jets, and maybe it's squirting out from one of the jets. Who knows? But see, usually the jets, well, I guess that's water that's shooting through there, not just air, right? Yeah, wouldn't that be something if it was one of the jets? It was something that I could fix up above with a plumber or some of that flexi seal tape or something like that. So see, there's a little bit more inspecting I need to do, and I'm glad I'm talking it through on the video, because before I cut any sheetrock, I want to go through all the variables and all the possibilities of finding that leak before cutting the ceiling out.